Jamie Vardy to Ibrox. Rangers ready to hijack Hollywood's next headline. Hamza Igamane in a £15 million tug-of-war with Everton and Udinese circling like sharks. Clinton Nsiala inches closer to the exit with Anderlecht pushing hard, but the board's next move could define our future. And if that wasn't enough, Russell Martin's shock decision to drop Butland ahead of the Panathinaikos showdown has Ibrox roaring. This is the chaos, drama, and fire you've been waiting for. Strap in, it's all kicking off. The new season starts with a bang, and Rangers aren't easing into it. Oh no, it's straight into the fire as Panathinaikos come calling to Ibrox this Tuesday. A Champions League qualifier right off the bat, and all eyes are on Russell Martin. His first competitive match in charge under the Ibrox lights, and with Europe's elite on the horizon, there's no room for slip-ups. Now, let's talk team. The big news, Jack Butland looks set to sit this one out. You heard that right. After being the #1 choice for so long, it's Liam Kelly who's expected to get the gloves. He's had the nod during pre-season, and it looks like Martin's sticking by him, at least for now. It's a massive call, especially in a tie of this magnitude. In defense, get ready to see new boy Nasser Jiga thrown into the mix. The lad's just come in from Wolves, and he could be lining up alongside John Suter. Yefte should slot in at left back after Ridvan Yilmaz was bizarrely cut from the squad, and our captain James Tavernier is likely to hold down the right flank. There were murmurs that Max Aarons might feature, but Martin seems to be going for stability rather than gambling on a full reshuffle. A sensible shout? You decide. Midfield should have a familiar feel. Mohamed Diomande and Nico Raskin, despite all the whispers of an exit, could anchor the middle. A pairing that brings both bite and brain. Kieran Dowell might also get a surprise start. He's coming back from a loan spell at Birmingham City, where he chalked up 5 goals and 5 assists in 23 appearances. Not bad at all. And with the likes of Hamza Igamane still under scrutiny, Dowell might just get a second wind under Martin. Out wide, Nedim Bajrami and Oscar Cortez are expected to start. Let's be honest, both need to prove they belong in blue. There's no more hiding behind potential. It's time to deliver. And up top, Danilo could be leading the line with Cyril Dessers potentially on his way out. Danilo's another one who needs to start fast. No excuses, no passengers. This isn't just a qualifier. This is a statement opportunity, the first impression of the Russell Martin era. He needs to get the lineup spot on. He needs leaders. He needs warriors. Because Panathinaikos won't come to Ibrox for a postcard. They'll come to spoil the party. If Liam Kelly has a shocker and Rangers crash out, would you blame the new gaffer for not starting Butland? Or is this a chance worth taking to build a new era, even if it comes with growing pains? Well, here we go again. Another transfer saga heating up around Ibrox, and this time it's all about Hamza Igamane, the Moroccan forward who burst onto the scene last season and gave you 16 goals, including big ones in Europe, could now be heading out the door, but it's not quite the straightforward Lille move you were told to expect. No, now it's turned into a proper European tug-of-war. Udinese have stormed into the picture, and Everton have come charging in from Merseyside, sniffing about and fancying a bit of the action. The move to Lille, apparently on hold, and that's music to the ears of any club wanting to hijack the deal. Let's not downplay it. This lad's been dubbed phenomenal by none other than ex-Celtic striker Chris Sutton. Say what you want about Sutton, but even he had to give the nod to what Igamani was doing in blue. Goals in Europe against proper opposition, FCSB Nice, and even the tournament winners Spurs, show he's no flat track bully. But now, the vultures are circling, and the asking price? £15 million. That's what Rangers want, and frankly, that feels like the minimum for someone with his age, output, and sky-high potential. There's nothing left field about it anymore. He's proven he can handle the Ibrox pressure, something few players ever master. Here's the kicker though, Rangers may be waiting for that cash to come in before pulling the trigger on a replacement. Turgeman's name has been floated, but with the season about to kick off, this kind of wait-and-see approach could leave us short. We've seen that movie before, haven't we? And listen, while a sale might make financial sense on paper, there's a real danger here. Lose Igamane too late, and we end up scrambling in the dark for a striker. Sell too early, and if the replacement flops, that 15 million means hee-haw when you're sitting 6 points behind by September. Should Rangers dig their heels in and demand every last penny for Igamane, or does selling him now risk sabotaging Russell Martin's first season before it's even started? Now, here's a story that's got a bit of swagger to it. Rangers are circling Jamie Vardy. That Jamie Vardy, the man who went from non-league pitches to Premier League glory with Leicester and bagged over 200 career goals along the way. At 38, he might be nearing the final whistle, but don't for a second think the fire's gone out. Vardy left Leicester after their drop last season, and since then it's been a waiting game. Premier League clubs have had a sniff, the Championship's been mooted, and even Wrexham's name's been thrown into the mix. Wrexham, the Netflix club, with a Hollywood budget and a League One squad, but here's where it gets tasty. Dan King, writing in The Sun on Sunday, made the point clear, Rangers, not Wrexham, are the big club, and he's spot on. We're talking about a club with a global identity, a colossal following, and a European presence Wrexham can only dream about. A Netflix documentary might win hearts, but Ibrox wins trophies. Now, the buzz around Vardy's name and Rangers has cooled a wee bit, but that doesn't mean the book's closed. His move's been delayed, and maybe, just maybe, that's because he's waiting for the right club with the right badge. And tell me this, could there be a better place to close out your career than under the Ibrox lights, chasing silverware, playing European nights, and rattling goals past Celtic? Last season, even with Leicester's collapse, Vardy still scored 9 Premier League goals. That's more than a quarter of their total. Put him in the Scottish Premiership, and he could absolutely tear it up. The movement, the finishing, the shithousery, he'd thrive. And in terms of raising standards, presence, and mentality in the dressing room, you couldn't ask for more. But here's the bit to chew on. Would you want Jamie Vardy in now at 38 on what would no doubt be a hefty wage if it meant stalling the development of younger striking talent? Would you roll the dice on a legend for a season or two, or is that just a bit of glamour when we really need grit? Should Rangers put everything into signing Vardy, even if it risks blocking a younger striker's rise? If it meant landing one last blow to Celtic's title grip? Right, let's unpack this Clinton Nsiala situation, because it's one of those transfer stories that could quietly become a massive one in hindsight. Rangers are prepared to let the young French defender go on loan, we hope, but now Anderlecht are sniffing about, and the lad seems keen on a move to the Belgian top flight. Nsiala came in with real pedigree from AC Milan, but let's be honest, he hasn't had a proper run at it in a Rangers shirt. 11 appearances in the Premiership is barely enough time to settle in, never mind stake a claim. But with Russell Martin looking to build his own defensive line, with new signings like Nasser Giga and Emmanuel Fernandez coming in, and Connor Cody being linked, Nsiala's path to regular minutes has been shut tighter than the gates at Ibrox on a Monday morning. Now, a move to Belgium makes a lot of sense for Nsiala. Anderlecht, KV Mechelen, Eva Zultevaregem, they'll offer him minutes, responsibility, and a proper footballing education. The Belgian league is fast, technical, and physical, perfect for sharpening a young centre-half. And at 21, that's exactly what he needs. But let's not make the same mistake we've made before, shipping out youth without a clear plan to bring them back better. You've got a lad here who's still developing. Just because he's not ready right now doesn't mean he won't be next season or the one after. Look at some of the late bloomers across Europe. We'd be daft to cash in too early just because he's not Ibrox ready in July 2025. Rangers need to hold their nerve. This is where the 49ers Enterprises and Andrew Kavanagh come into play. These are supposed to be smart football operators, long-term thinkers. If they've done their homework, they'll see that Nsiala should not be sold. Let him go out, learn the ropes, and bring him back next summer hungrier than ever. Because here's the question that needs asking. If Rangers sell Clinton Nsiala now, and in 2 years he's bossing a European backline, will you forgive the board for giving up on him too soon just to save a squad space this season? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.